Good morning, Mumbai. Hope you're all having a wonderful time at the ACS DRI conference. I am Shriram Iyer, representing the AICC, Australia India Chamber of Commerce. I also work as an inspirational keynote speaker for my business Nirvana. Now, before I get into the crux of the talk, I want us to think about something. For life to exist on any planet, what do we need? We need ample supply of water. The planet also needs to be close enough, but far enough from their sun so that the sun could nourish the planet without destroying it. We also need the right type of atmosphere with just the right gravitational pull. And when all of these rare things come together, and it did some 4.6 billion years ago, ladies and gentlemen, it did. The blue planet that we call home was born because these rare occurrences came together. And actually, very interestingly, planet Earth owes its very existence to its big brother, the planet Jupiter, who till date makes sure that dangerous threats to Earth actually remain trapped in Jupiter's orbit due to its gravity. So as you can see, many low probability events needed to come together so that it could give birth to planet Earth. So in short, planet Earth is the biggest miracle that you and I could ask for. The miracle of life. Earth, the blue planet, our only home. But mind you, we don't own this home. We're not the owners. It's more like we're like renters. For the length of our lifetime, we have the special privilege and responsibility of looking after this planet and handing it over to future renters, the generations to come. Which is why talking about sustainability and acting on it becomes so critical. So huge thanks to ACS DRI for conducting this 2-day international conference in Mumbai on sustainability-focused education and business and professional development opportunities in Australia and India. So on behalf of AICC, Australia India Chamber of Commerce, I'm proud to be presenting this keynote on India-Australia trade and business with a focus on the recently signed ECTA. I'm an inspirational speaker delivering keynotes for conferences and corporate clients. Now, in the interest of overall sustainability, trade and business play an important role. And I'm proud to share that the AICC has been facilitating and enabling this across the two countries admirably. But before we dive into it, let us briefly explore the Australia-India relationship. I like to see them as two sides of the same coin. Two countries that have enough in common to make the relationship work, and enough in terms of differences to make it interesting. Sounds very much like a marriage to me, a happy one. After all, for both countries, January 26th is an important date. Republic Day for India and Australia Day for Australia. So when it comes to business and trade between the two countries, the AICC, which is membership-based, will facilitate, nurture, and transform the way business is done between the two countries. So instead of a business going blindly into India and Googling contacts to talk to, AICC actually makes it easy for businesses to have the introductions, to have the networks. The members of AICC come from various industries with various qualifications, experience, and backgrounds, which is very valuable and useful to our members. So the way AICC operates is through the creation of selected national industry groups, such as critical minerals, defense, technology and innovation, and education. And I'm very happy to share that within a few months, two other industry groups will be formed, which will cover power and renewables and space. So, as you can see and appreciate, hopefully, that with a focus on power and renewables, where again, there's a lot of work already being done, AICC has been and will continue to directly contribute to initiatives in the sustainability space as well. The AICC also has had the privilege of hosting several federal and state ministers in Australia, which serves a lot of benefits. It promotes knowledge sharing, it furthers community interactions and bonding, and it creates greater relations between the two countries. So, some of the ministers who we have hosted are the External Affairs Minister of India, S. Jaishankar, the Minister of Textiles, Piyush Goyal, Minister of Power and Renewable Energy, R.K. Singh. And once again, here I'd like to highlight AICC's commitment to deliver on sustainability initiatives. Minister of Education, Dharmendra Pradhan, Minister of State for External Affairs, V. Muralidharan. And the big one, we hope to be able to host India's Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, when he takes part in the Quad's Leaders Summit in Australia in May. So, in short, the Australia-India relationship is important to us. Sustainability and how these two countries can contribute is also important to us at AICC. India happens to be one of Australia's most important trading partners, actually. I believe it's the 7th largest for Australia. And the economies of both these countries are highly complementary. So it makes perfect sense for this whole Australia-India narrative. Australian resources and other commodities such as wool and cotton are important inputs that drive Indian industry. India is also a growing market for Australia in terms of critical minerals and the resources sector. Now, Australian services have a very big demand in India, highly sought after. Australian services exports have nearly doubled in the past decade. All of this points to tremendous untapped potential in this vibrant market called India. Which actually brings me to ECTA, ECTA, Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, which, ECTA, if you want to pronounce that in Hindi, it's Ekta, which, as most of you know, symbolizes cooperation, collaboration, and unity. So ECTA is very significant to the whole Australia-India story. Over the next 20 years, a growing India will actually need many of Australia's goods and services in fields such as agriculture, critical minerals, education, and skills training, and healthcare, which fits really well with what Australia wants to do, because this will mean and enable Australian goods exporters to obtain preferential access to an enormous market, an untapped market in India. Indian tariffs on over 90% of Australians' goods exports to India will be eliminated within the next 6 years. And this currently sits at 85%. 95% of imports from India are now tariff-free thanks to ECTA. And it is expected to rise to 100% in 4 years. Now, we in Australia and at AICC would love to see ECTA in due course lead to the CECA, or the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. We'd love to see that come to life, and we're positive it will. And ECTA is a fantastic stepping stone to see. Who's the end beneficiary? Well, the consumers of both countries. Economic growth will inevitably facilitate sustainability. But for that to happen, it needs to be front and center of the conversation, which I'm sure through conferences such as this, it will. The environment, social benefits, and governance. All three of these are important, which is why the ESG space is so significant these days. When we talk about ECTA, the question is, how can every business operate in a way that has benefits at an environmental, social, and governance level? Now, there are several initiatives that businesses, not just Australia and India, but worldwide, are undertaking. And the focus is mostly on technology, and it should be on technology. But I also want to bring to your attention the importance of mindset and attitude towards sustainability from the people who lead these businesses, from business leaders. I believe that a business will invest in technology for, say, waste conversion, either because it wants to or because it has to. Ideally, businesses in Australia and India should contribute to the ESG space, for example, because they want to. A willing desire is far greater than reluctant compliance. And if we want to reach to where we want to reach to, it has to be a case of want to rather than have to. So it comes down to people, to leadership, to attitudes, to beliefs. And beliefs is a big one. And let's spend a minute understanding this. Because it is beliefs that shape and lead to certain behaviors. And it's behaviors that lead to business outcomes. So, from a business outcome perspective, if businesses want to deliver certain results when it comes to sustainability, for example, they will have to take certain actions. They'll have to behave in a certain way, which needs to come from a set of beliefs, from a belief system that can inform these behaviors. So, if leaders, for example, truly believe that waste can be converted to energy, to renewable energy specifically, what do we have? We have a happy, thriving planet. And this is where the concept of circular economy comes in. I was thinking about this. Why the word circular? Why should it be circular? Because everything actually is. Think about it. Think about something simple like time. Our weeks, our months, they're all circular. Why? We even refer to life as the circle of life. So it makes sense that when products are consumed and converted into waste, that this waste is converted back into energy. And that for me is a perfect circle. And there are a number of technologies that currently support this and will continue to support in the future. For example, there are technologies that can generate biofuel from plastic waste non-oxidatively. Technologies can conduct disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous organic waste based on a process like pyrolysis. There are systems that take waste material and rearrange the molecules into basic building blocks to make other commercial products. Plasma gasification. Why? A company in Western Australia actually enables the effective conversion of natural gas and similar feedstocks into hydrogen and high quality graphite using iron ore as a process catalyst. So, in simple terms, they're actually producing hydrogen at lower costs and also reducing the CO2 footprint. Win win. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of technology called gravity batteries that can store gravitational potential energy. Disused mines and recycled critical minerals can and are being used as gravity batteries. So there is innovation galore, and Australia and India can and continue to play a big role in this. But, like I mentioned, this isn't actually only about technology. It is also about people. Governments can open doors. We at AICC can open doors. Technology can make things possible. But at the end of the day, it boils down to people. It is about both skill set and mindset. The right mindset, the right beliefs, especially from senior leadership from these businesses, will result in us achieving and putting a tick on the 17 sustainable goals set by the United Nations. Otherwise, I'm afraid it'll just become 17 icons that we stare at. So, for people to start valuing this gift called planet Earth, every day we must remind ourselves of how this planet was born under the most extraordinary circumstances. And all of us have the potential to do extraordinary things for this very special planet. So, on behalf of AICC, our very best wishes to the ACSDRI team for a very successful and productive 2 days at this conference. For any information about AICC membership or how AICC can facilitate business level engagement between Australia and India, please reach out to us by visiting our website. Meanwhile, have a great day and namaste.